Starting off with The Aristocats, released in November 1970. Released November 1970. I like it. It's okay. I put it in the middle ground in terms of all these movies of this period. It's not bad, but it's not. I wouldn't put it at a high level either. It's cute. I love the dogs, the sequences with Napoleon and Lafayette, the dogs. And of course, you gotta love Phil Harris as O'Malley the Alley Cat. And I love the old man, Charles, I think his name is. No, George. That's his name. Sorry. George. Okay, so next is Robin Hood. Also released in November 1973. I would consider it the second best of this entire era. Because it's so relaxed. The characters are so fun to watch. The only thing I don't like about it is what a lot of people have complained about the reused animation. Especially in the dance sequence. Like if only King of England. Oh man, this made me want to watch. Well, anyway, so next is The Rescuers, released in June 1977. What some I consider is the worst, others would consider a later one that I'm going to talk about. I think you guys know what I mean, what I'm talking about. Rescuers is just boring, people. The only thing that's noteworthy about it, but the animation build realistic crew is also pointed out, this Madame Medusa. So fun to watch her, but otherwise, yeah. I find myself falling asleep halfway through. Probably more like earlier than that. Also, there's one thing the animation build crew did not mention with the production of the film. Is that he created a character for Phil Harris as one of the SWAT people. But he either he didn't want to do it, I think the sources are conflicted, but it seems that he just didn't want to be in the movie. Okay, so next is The Fox and the Hound, released in July 1981. I like this movie. I definitely like it better. I love this movie. I don't put it quite as high as others as Robin Hood and one that's going to be coming up pretty soon on this list. But I definitely like it better than all of the others. Because it's a good story, got good characters. It's a nice passing torch too from the old guard of the 9 old men and the new guard of the Disney Renaissance, the future Disney Renaissance, and also people like future animators like Tim Burton and even Don Bluth, who actually left in the middle of production of this film. So it's really really beautiful, that ending sequence with Todd and Vixie. Watching Copper. It's nice. I feel like it's Frank and Ollie, the remaining members of the Idol of the Man, watching over what Disney's about to become. So next is the infamous the Black Gold, released in July 1985. Oh man, this is the worst, people. This is the worst of this era. In fact, it was the worst of Disney overall for a long time. Oh man. The only good thing, there are only two things that I can say that I actually like about this movie. I love the visuals of this movie. Oh man. I mean, it's Disney, come on. And the villain, the Horned King, even though he doesn't actually do anything, he's still got a commanding presence and he's scary. So there you go. Oh, also, the Black Cauldron, in terms of release date, is the first Disney animated feature to actually have CGI in it. Very little of it, just for a boat and some fire and water effects, and some fire effects, and some effects work, fire, and the little fairy, and the little fairy dot of Princess Alonwe. So next is the Great Mouse Detective, which is an interesting, which I personally think is the best of this entire era, because this movie, along with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, helped inspire other animators to make to create their own studios, because this revitalized animation, people. Animation was almost dead was just about to die by this point in terms of pictures. What else can I say about this movie? Visually, it's beautiful. The animation is great, and the characters and script, the story, there's nothing I can fault about it. Also, this is, like I said, as I said with Black Cauldron, this is going on with Black Cauldron. This is the first time that they used computer effects in Disney animated and major animated for the clock tower, for the Big Ben sequence. Oh man, for the inside of Big Ben, for that fight sequence, which is only a couple minutes long, with a CG background. It's not a completely CG background, because they did do a little bit of hand drawn. They did do a little bit of hand drawn, but then they computer mapped it and put the characters on top of it. So that technically that's the first time they used CG, but then very late in production, but then they slapped on some effects onto the Black Cauldron last minute, pretty much at the last minute. So, and now finally we get to the last one. Oliver and Company, released in November 1988. I personally love this movie. I think it's better than most of these films, except for The Great Mouse Detective, obviously, and Robin Hood, because it's got some issues with it. It's a weird movie, but it's still fun. I like the contemporary documentary style to it, just like with the 101 Dalmatians. That is really fun. I find myself, tunes to it. Tunes of the songs. All the time. Like, why should I worry and stuff like that? Oh man. The only thing I could really fault about it is just the story is the story is a little it's okay, and the villain mainly, that's it. The villain Sykes, he's just a mob boss, he's just a mobster. I actually like his dogs better. I think they make more compelling villains because they're actually scary and threatening. I also, and this was the last Disney anime of this era, so that whenever you watch that ending sequence where they're reprising, why should we worry? Why should I worry? Why we shouldn't be worried? There at the end. Just imagine that that's the cast of the movie. Just imagine that's Disney welcoming you to the ending of this era and to the Renaissance and saying, hey, the Renaissance is right around the corner, people, right around the corner. Have fun. Also, one last thing. This movie marked the first time that Howard Ashman did music. Wrote the lyrics for Once Upon a Time in New York City. And he would later go on to work in the early Renaissance films as well, which I will get to very soon. So that's that. Oh, and there's some CGI in the movie too, some effects work. Mainly vehicles and for the skyline, New York City skyline. So that's it for this era. So next time